Good morning. My name is Gregory Papanikos. I'm the president of this beautiful association that organizes many events, small events, every year on an annual basis. This conference is 15th. I was 15 years old when we started this conference, now I'm 30. And believe it or not, all the big names of sports economics and sportsmen have presented this conference just from the beginning. Just check the previous programs and you will see. And some of them, they were PhD students, and now they're almost grandfathers. And they are professors, and they teach other people. So that's life, unfortunately. And we grow. And I think we have more than 500 papers presented in the previous 15 years. This conference. Anyway, I'm going to say a few words about the Athens Institute, which, by the way, is an association of academics and researchers. We call it an institute because it is easier, particularly for North Americans, to write off expenses when they come to Greece for vacation. I mean, I'm talking for the young generation. Conference is a very good thing. Apart from meeting other people, you see other places as well. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you exploit it. And every single event that takes place during the conference, you exploit it and you meet other people. Because one of the benefits of this conference is that people are coming from many different countries. And this is actually our mission. Our mission is to make Athens a place where people can come from all over the world and meet and exchange ideas about current and future developments of their discipline, sports. Now, all our events are general. I mean, whatever you want to say for 15 minutes, as long as you pay the fee, you can say it. But we are doing a much better job than that. And of course, one of the criteria is the longevity. If we are able to do it for 15 years, there might be something without Greeks. We don't see Greeks here from Greece. Without actually any interruption, notwithstanding the conflicts, the riots, the civil wars that we had in Greece in the last 5 years, and still the conference takes place. We haven't canceled even a single event. I mean, people are fighting, and bombs, or whatever you can think the media say, but still we continue to do our events. So this is a measure of success. Now, having said that about the general themes, I'd like to invite you, if you like what we are doing, wait until tomorrow afternoon. And you want to help us, you are kind enough, to organize a panel for next year. This is a new thing that we have introduced this year, not with great success, but still we want to continue. Even though our conference is everything you want to say, within this conference, there is an opportunity, especially for our members and for our friends, to organize a panel and your name will appear there. We do all the administration work. All you have to do is give us your name only, nothing else. So this is very important. And this can solve this criticism that it's so general. So general, but very useful, because if sports is considered cannot be unified, just think about all the other disciplines. So this is very important. Now we do have, starting last year, we do have an Athens Journal of Sports. Still we need a lot of work to do there, and we do need the help of reviewing papers, submitting papers, and I think we can do it one of good journals, not the best, but a good journal, and improve every year, based upon many papers, because this is not the only sports conference that we organize every year. We organize another one in July, but you will be surprised in all other conferences, because I think sports is an interdisciplinary. It's an horizontal subject. It cuts across all other disciplines. Next we have media, or we have education next week. There are many papers on physical education. And this can be considered for the journal as well. So it's not only the papers that are presented here, and even in this room, if you have, let's say, a paper on marketing, it can go to our business and economics journal. So there's no guarantee that whatever is presented here will go to a proceedings. We have asked Professor Poulos will explain with notes what we are doing in detail. So I'm saying whatever it comes to my mind since I don't have notes. And but it's very important to understand that. So we don't have books proceedings, even though we publish books. I think we're close to 200. But we have a paper series as well. So if you send your paper, it will be uploaded. We do have problems with the English language, you can tell from my accent as well, but most people have problems in writing English, and we try to, I mean, we don't want to, to have English literature professor writing your paper, but it's very important that you have someone that knows English, not has a proficiency in English. This doesn't mean that nothing. It's be a specialized editor to improve, so people at least can understand what we are talking about. Unfortunately or fortunately, the language here is only English we use, and you can have your accent as long as people understand you. It's okay. Now, just a last advice for the youth, the young generation of scholars. A lot of people think that all they need, or they think they need, is the 15 minutes presentation. So they can come here for 15 minutes, impress the world and leave. If you are old, it's okay. But if you are young and you do that, it's the worst investment you ever made of the 400 euros that you paid. I mean, the beauty of our conference is not to stay and present and leave. I mean, come, present and leave, but to stay throughout the conference and hear, to see and compare your own presentation with other presentations, and get the maximum that you can get by knowing other people that come from so many different countries. Now, something about the chairs. We hate chairs that criticize papers that are presented in their session. So if you have this insight, you cannot control yourself, and you want to talk about papers presented in your session, please ask us, Apostolis will be here, to change you. There's no solution to the problem. The only solution is to change you. So please, when we chair a session, don't talk. I mean, just keep the time. There is a reason why we send you instructions, actually. So that's why it's very easy to chair. You don't need to know what are the presentations, what they say. It's very important to leave the discussion at the end as well. There is a good reason for that. And if there are no questions, even though there is plenty of time, leave the people to go outside. Don't torture them. Don't ask questions because you think that's a polite thing. You will see when they go outside and start talking. One will approach the other, and that's where the talking takes place. Talk too much. Professor Poulos, you have the floor, and you say more formally what I said. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Benito. Right, I would also like to welcome you to this conference, ladies and gentlemen, the 15th Annual International Conference on Sports, Economic Management, Marketing, and Social Aspects. I'm just going to say a few words about the Institute. Okay, thank you. I'm going to repeat a few of the things that Dr. Papadakis said. Atiner was established in 1995, and its mission is to act as a forum where academics and researchers from all over the world will come together to this historic cradle of democracy, Athens, in order to exchange ideas on their research, to interact with each other, and to discuss future developments in the disciplines. Atiner is a world association of academics and researchers, and over 95% of our members are from institutions outside Greece. Conferences are designed in such a way as to cater mainly for foreign academics. The basic activities of Atiner include the organizing and hosting of international conferences such as this one, so the symposiums, carrying out of research, and the production of various publications. And since 1995, Atiner has organized more than 300 international conferences and other events, and has published close to 200 books. Atiner has also organized numerous roundtable discussions and public speeches on topical issues. The Institute is also currently involved in an ambitious project regarding the proposed establishment of an academic village. The aim is to establish a community of research scholars and academics, and the proposed village will include a conference center, living facilities, as well as facilities for research and recreation. And you'll find more information on this project in the file. Now let's turn to today's formal activities. You should of course each have a program by now. Please note, and this is very important, and this has also been mentioned by Dr. Papanikos, that each presentation is limited to 15 minutes. The chairpersons will keep time and will use 3 and 1 minute reminder cards. I'd like to ask the chairs to adhere strictly to the time constraints. Please allow questions and discussion after all the papers have been presented and not after each paper. The chairpersons must also fill out the report forms that they'll be receiving. This is important because the final program will be based on the chairperson's reports. Should you need to make use of technical facilities in the presentation, please confirm that everything is in order before the session begins. There will always be someone in the admin staff, in this case, Apostolic, to help you in this regard. And of course, there will also be a coffee break between sessions where you can continue with some of your discussion. You should also consult the social program, which is also in your file. The Greek night tonight is to be recommended. Apart from Greek cuisine, there'll be lots of Greek music and dancing, and of course you'll be invited to join in if you like. And then there is also the urban walk tomorrow. And then follows the cruise to selected islands and the visit to the ancient site of Delphi. A few words on publications. The Institute is involved in various publications. Firstly, there are the abstracts which are published. Now, there are some institutes that regard abstracts as a publication, and of course, we allow for this. If you're interested in having this published, let us know. They have their own ISBN number and can, of course, be cited. In this way, the paper contents can be disseminated as quickly as possible and can allow for feedback from researchers in this area of study. Secondly, the papers that are presented are placed on the web as part of an online paper series. Once the editing of the papers, of course, has been attended to, they have their own ISSN number and, of course, can also be cited. The purpose of this publication series is to firstly disseminate information in your paper as quickly as possible, and secondly, to allow for feedback in case you wish to make amendments before you submit your paper for publication in the book. And then we have the book publications. You'll receive an email soon after the conference asking you for a final draft for publication consideration and any other information that may be relevant. All papers that are submitted go through the review process before they are considered for publication in the book. And then finally, as Dr. Papanikos has also said, we have journal series. Papers submitted to the journals also go through a double-blind peer review process, which is monitored by the editorial board. On the issue of collaboration, we at Atiner would like to collaborate with other institutions. Academics, researchers, and the institutes are invited to collaborate with our institute on research and education projects. And if you're not yet a member of the institute, we'd like you to join and assist with the reviewing and editing of papers. You're also encouraged to collaborate as delegates at future conferences by submitting, as Dr. Nikos has said, proposals for special panel discussions on a theme related to your research. Academics and researchers interested in your theme would then be invited to participate in the special panel discussions. And then finally, part of our vision is to organize fellowships, and we hope to introduce this soon. Well, finally, colleagues, as is clear from the program, we come from quite a number of different countries. We at Athens sincerely hope that you'll make the most of this opportunity to interact with each other, that you'll enjoy this conference, that you'll go back home with fond memories not only of this conference, but of Athens as well, and most of all, that you'll want to come back to our future conferences. Thank you very much. Enjoy the conference, and those of you who are presenting the first session, please contact Apostolic right now and get started with the first session. Thank you very much.
we'll start the first session. And who is the first speaker here? First speaker. Yeah.